You know what? It's the
Turn this one on.
pandemic. Things are, we're live, Kevin.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
Really, I'm an amateur here.
hey, yeah, we're doing the best we can. We're doing it without people who do this for us. We're doing it ourselves, and that's makes it okay. Thank you so much for doing. And okay, first of all, I feel like calling you Kevin because it's your name, but you're Keb Mo, and that's how most people know you. How do people in real life, people call you Kevin, I assume?
People call me Kevin, and they just call me Keb, or they just call me Keb Mo, or they'll call me Mo.
Call
Mr.
you Mo. Okay,
Mr.
so
Mo.
tell us first of all how that happened. How did you go from Kevin Moore to Keb Mo?
Oh, you know how that happened.
Well, yeah, but maybe everybody out there doesn't know how that happened.
Yeah, they are. Kevin Moore. You know, and you just
but one specific person, your drummer was the one, right, who coined it?
No, this is a collective thing for Kevin Moore. This is a collective, the way you say you Kevin Moore in
Compton,
Compton, places I hang out.
So when you were a kid, were you Keb Mo?
Mm-hmm.
You were.
No one was official. It's just that's what it was. That's what it is. Your name is Kevin Moore, and you're in a certain neighborhood. You Keb Mo.
You Keb Mo. I like it. Okay, so when you were growing up in that neighborhood, straight out of Compton, okay, so were your parents musical? Were they creative? Where do you come from? What stock do you come from?
What stock do I come from? See, my dad was just a fool. My mother was a hairdresser.
Yeah.
And I have a few musical people in my family. Yeah. You know, just an uncle. My mother was sung in church. We're music light in my family. We're not heavy, you know. We all got exposed to music, and I got exposed to it and never got cured.
And did you get exposed to it first in church? Is that where it happened?
Well, you hear it first in church live. You hear live music in church, but I got exposed to being in the band at school.
Okay, so when the first instrument, though, you weren't playing guitar, from what I understand.
The first instrument was trumpet.
Wait, this I don't even know. I thought it was drums. Okay, trumpet.
I stayed on there about a year.
Yeah.
Then came steel drums, not drums, steel drums.
Oh, right. Well, that's a whole other thing.
Then came the guitar.
How old were you when you started playing guitar?
12.
And so you're playing are you playing in a band?
At 12?
Yeah, you're not. Are you? You are.
At 12, yeah. Steel band, steel drums.
Steel drums. And are you playing music in school? Because I read something.
During that time, I wasn't playing. I was in what they call middle school now. I was junior high school back in the day.
Right.
I was playing. I wasn't there. They didn't have enough room for me in the band at school. And so I had to. I played the steel band, and I had played with some of my friends that played music with me. But so that was it.
But then I heard there's a French horn in your future, from what I gathered.
Yeah, when I got to high school, I found a way into the band.
French horn.
Through the French horn.
Oh my God!
Not the coolest instrument in the band, but it got me in the band.
It got you in the band.
Yeah.
And so, are you playing music? So, are you playing music outside of school? Are you playing guitar, steel drums outside of school?
Well, I was playing gigs outside on steel drum. And I was working on the guitar.
And you were working on the guitar. And what did that look like for you? Because I don't want to send smoke up here, but you're extraordinary. I haven't fanned on you yet, but you are so prolific, and you are so ridiculously talented. All the musicians that I've had on this show that I've interviewed, more people are so excited. Lee Sklar called me today, and he said, he's
the man.
He's going to come on the broadcast. He's doing a live thing right now. He's getting off in a half hour, and he's going to come on to say hello. But he's not going to come on, but he's going to be looking. And anyway, he told me that as soon as he heard your music, he ran out and bought your album. And he said, and he didn't do that kind of thing. Ross Hogarth just wrote me and is telling me 25 years of music with you, and he's just, over the moon. And that, like, Edgar wrote a song
I
just
still haven't
for
got
you.
to play with. I've got to work with Ross Hogarth. He's been a huge asset, and a huge help to me. And Lee Scars is, I wonder why didn't he get the what was it, ZZ Top gig?
Yeah. He's looked like that forever. How long have you known Lee forever?
Oh yeah. Well, I met him a few times, but I know him. I ran into him places. I've watched his work, listened to his work, and I love Lee Scars bass playing. He's
yeah. Well, he feels the same way about you. So
yeah, maybe one of those bands he plays, and he can get me a gig in the band.
Like, you need to gig, right? I don't think that's a problem. Okay, so I'm all over the place, but let's stay here. How the hell do you write so much music? So I started to tell you before we came on the air that I lead this band of COVID crazies, and that when I heard The Medicine Man, I was like, oh my God, you wrote this song for us. Well, there's a lot of songs that I feel like you wrote for me, but Good Strong Woman, I mean, just you, Shave Your Legs. I mean, I love your sensibility, and I love the fact that you so clearly love and respect women. What was your relationship with your mother like?
My mother was actually a great mom, little distant from me. Not necessarily she had a lot on her plate.
How so? Did you have a lot of siblings?
She was a fantastic mother, raising 4 kids as a single mother. Mm-hmm. She had a lot on her plate.
Yeah.
And she was, from a like we all are, challenging background.
Yeah.
Grew up in Texas on a sharecropping on a farm.
I'm from Texas, but I'd rather be in Paris. Wait, I don't know the lyric exactly, but I love that song also.
Oh, ain't nothing wrong with Texas.
But I'd
love to go to France.
But I'd really love to go to France. Oh, yeah. So, all right. So your mother had a hard life in Texas, raising 4 kids.
Her mother, she had a challenging time. Her mother died when she was very young, like 8 years old. And she had 2 siblings, but she came out smelling like a rose. She was a tough broad, decent church-going woman. Didn't take any crap. And when she got me to the starting line in life, I was a little but she got me there.
Well, obviously she did something right, and she did it good, because you so clearly love and respect women. It comes out in your...
She lived a long life, and I got to see her in her sweet old age. She lived to be 91, almost 92.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So
she got to see your success and share it with you and all of that. Was she supportive of you being a musician? How'd she feel about that?
No, she wanted me to get a job.
Yeah, well.
And I just couldn't do that.
So did you ever have did you ever have a job?
Well, what I call is, I had service jobs, little piddly jobs.
Like what?
I made sure delivering things, cleaning stuff up, just like this, move this over here, labor. I would never on purpose get a job with a really good, go for a job with a really good paycheck.
Because you wanted to stay hungry?
I didn't want to get stuck on the paycheck.
When did you decide I'm gonna do music? This is what I'm gonna do. This is how I'm gonna make my living. This is it right here.
I did it way before I decided. I wasn't necessarily.
Wow.
I wasn't necessarily one of these guys that this is my calling. This is what I'm going to do. I was kind of like, I like doing this. I think I'll do this. And when I got about 39, and I had been doing it a long time, I said, I'm in now. I'm too old to get out. I'm in. I got nothing else to do. I got no other options. I'm freaking in.
Damn. So So how did you segue? Okay, so you're playing in bands, you're playing in school music. Is there something else you want to be when you're a little kid? I mean, you did go to school for like graphic art or or architectural art or something.
I wanted to be an architect.
An architect.
But that was a dream that was kind of like grew out of my love of drawing, and I loved drafting at school. Drafting was fun to draw. Was mechanical drafting, and then I got into the architectural side of it. But it was like, people telling me, you got to have a way to make a living. You got to get a job. You got to do something, dude. And so I was thinking like, yeah, I got to do something. And I picked that. It was creative.
And how far did you go with it?
2 years.
And then, okay, and so what happened then that took you out?
Somebody called me for a gig.
Was that, I know Papa John Creach was early for you.
Yeah.
That happened then, or?
That happened about 2 years later. Yeah, Papa John. And so someone called me and said, hey, we're putting the band back together. It's like the Blues Brothers. We're putting the band together. We got any gigs? No, we're going to just start rehearsing. Come on. And we start practicing and doing gigs. And
are you writing for that band?
I was kind of writing a little bit. I was just kind of following learning covers and occasionally trying to write a song, but
And so what kind of covers were you doing in that band?
The top 40.
Okay.
Funky Broadway. Blood, Sweat, and Tears stuff. We did.
Hell yeah.
We did.
And are you doing
Sam and Dave,
Are you doing clubs or where are you playing? Parties.
At this point, we're all still too young to get in the club. We can't get in the club. We're like we're still a bunch of knucklehead teenagers.
Yeah. And so when do you remember I'm sure you remember your first song. Do you remember the first song you wrote?
First song I wrote?
Mm-hmm.
First song I probably co-wrote, first song, No, I don't remember the first one. I remember I have a picture, in the fifth grade, I have a writing of me trying to write a song, and I got about 2 lines in. And it says, and it didn't even rhyme. It says, "It's incredible that you don't love me."
Oh,
it was like I was a little, battered, kind of not battered. I just kind of was, but I guess I was like, the blues was already written in there.
Wow, 3rd grade. That's well.
Yeah. So when I started, no, it was fifth. It was fifth grade. It was 5th grade. I wrote it because it was in my scrapbook with my baseball cards.
You found it later?
Yeah, I found it. I got it around here somewhere.
Yeah. Okay, so you're playing with this band and you guys are playing parties, and how does that progress?
Oh God, I really don't know. Oh, then we get a call to go play with this guy named Milton James.
Mm-hmm.
And he was being sponsored, or say like groomed by the people that were managing the group War.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm. And we were rehearsing what is now on Sunset, the Guitar Center.
Mm-hmm.
Basement, that used to be the headquarters for the management for War, that building. So we would be down in the basement rehearsing, down where the drums are now. And that's what we did. And so that never panned out. But then we went to this other place over in the South Central, mid cities. It was on Adams Boulevard. And we rehearse in this storefront recording studio every day. A guy named Nick, he let us rehearse there. And and so that's when Papa John walked by and heard us playing and came in, and hired us.
The whole band?
Yeah.
Wow. And he was already he was a big deal.
He was already a member of Jefferson Airplane,
mm-hmm.
Hot Tuna, Jefferson Starship. We didn't know him from a hole in the wall.
That wasn't your kind of, what music did you listen to when you were a kid? What was your passion when you were a kid? Was it the blues? What were you listening to?
I listened to pop hits. I listened to the radio.
Yeah,
I
like
listened to
everybody
what was
else.
popular, you know.
Did you like the Beatles?
Oh yeah, I liked the Beatles. I liked we didn't have many records at the house, but the radio. I mean, really, this and the songs we learned in the band. So I'm like a kind of person that never had a huge repertoire of things that I know and stuff like that. But I take what I do know, I go in and I take it completely apart.
Yes, you do. The times they are a change, and somebody was talking about it today. Your cover of that is just amazing. Were you a Dylan fan?
I listened to Bob Dylan in my car for on an 8-track tape for a good while. I had all these tapes. I had everything. I had my 8-track at the room that I had. I had Spirit, Iron Butterfly, Marvin Gaye, What's Going On. I had Led Zeppelin 1, Led Zeppelin 2. I had the Beatles, Abbey Road. I had a Bob Dylan.
That's quite so. And so you liked hard rock also. Iron Maiden.
No, I would. You know, there was. I had some friends that were part of the Midnight Auto Works. They were like those sticky finger guys who would go around people's cars.
Oh my God, I read today that you produced a track. You produced David Bromberg was one of my favorite singer-songwriters in the 70s. And you worked with David Bromberg. Holy shit.
I met him in the 70s. I met him and we were knowing each other since the 70s.
Oh God.
And so they're digging in the deep blue sea.
Yeah.
That with Gary Nicholson yeah, so but
I went to his 2 final concerts in 1970. Like such bullshit. He had his farewell concerts
in New
York.
That band he had.
Oh,
stupid.
Oh my God.
They turned into a funk band and they turned into a jug band.
Unbelievable. And in one day I saw them at the Schaefer Festival in Central Park. And then that night he played at the Bottom Line. And that was supposed to be it. He was done. Well, of course, that was not the end. And that was not it. But
I played at the Bottom Line. Yeah, with Papa John Creach when it first opened.
Oh God.
Yeah.
So okay, so you're playing with Papa John. And so what kind of venues are you guys play? Like so you're making some coin, right?
Not much, enough for a 20-year-old dude. I was balling pretty good.
Yeah.
It was coin to me. It was like, whoa, yeah, this is good. Steady gig, and then and having being able to pay my rent and put gas in my car, you know, and have some clothes to wear, you know. Yeah, I was doing all right.
And then you started doing more all right. So after Papa John, what happens?
Oh, nothing. I got a job at a flower shop delivering flowers.
Get at it, really?
Yeah.
But you were still playing music.
I did that for about 2 years. I worked at Stan's Westchester Florist in Westchester, and I worked at Leo's Flowers on La Cienega, where the Beverly Center is now. Where you know.
Yeah.
And I delivered flowers to the celebrity when I worked at Leo's. I remember I delivered flowers to Linda Ronstadt, Andy Williams, Tina Turner,
wow,
George Benson.
Did you ever like slip him a little demo or anything?
I wasn't making demos.
You weren't making demos.
I was never really trying to be a solo artist, and I didn't really know how to promote myself or anything. I was
so what did you think your way in?
Here's my story.
Go ahead.
I basically come up from a place of not low esteem, but medium esteem. You know,
medium esteem.
I'm not one that thinks real highly of my skills and myself and everything.
Okay.
And I just wanted to be in music. I just really wanted to be in music. So I would just go wherever the wind blew. Yeah. You know, and most significant things that happened for me are never anything that I went and sought after. Such as the Papa John thing, such as joining a cover band in high school. I was always asked and invited, you know, and I never.
You were never the one going out and knocking on the door.
Yeah, trying to hustle, trying to go to all the jam sessions and, you know, meet people and, you know, because I just really didn't know how to do that. So it was always be someone on the street, like where I got my education in recording was at the A&M lot, Studio B in the A&M lot. So I'm walking by the studio by there one day, and this guy named Chuck passed about probably 20 years ago now, but he says, hey, I'm gonna do some sessions. I was playing with his girlfriend's son, you know what I mean? In a band,
Yeah.
And he says, I'm gonna do these sessions and I got some studio time and I want to try to do some stuff. Why don't you come in, bring like you and Greg come in and play in the studio, come in by midnight. So when the studio's closed. So so we did these sessions, using used tape and recording these songs.
Mm-hmm.
And I ran the session because he didn't know I had it. He'd think, everybody always thought that I didn't know anything, but I had played with Papa John. I had made 3 records with Papa John. I had been in many recording studios as a kid. My first session I was 14 on a steel drum. I went in the studio and Carol Kay was playing bass.
No kidding.
I went in there and so I had been in studios. I had seen how the thing works. So by the time I was 21, I guess I was 26, 27 after Papa John. I had a lot of studio experience, So he gets in the studio and I kind of told him what to do, we got the training.
Wait. So all this studio experience you're getting during this time is coming to you because you're not hustling, right?
Yeah, I'm not hustling.
And so people are just coming to you and you're getting this work.
So I went there and he became the guy that did all the demos for Irving Almo, not all of them, a lot of them, for the publishing company at A&M. And the sessions would start at 9 o'clock and they would go to end about 12. And then the big sessions would come in. So just about almost every morning, at least 3 days a week, I was in the studio doing demos.
Wow.
At A&M. Hanging out in the hall with the likes of all the session guys, coming through. You knew them, you kind of knew the morning shift would go and you'd see the big guys would come in. And I was in the room, we did production. I had to write the charts. I had to call.
Wait, how did you learn how to write music and read music in school?
Because I played the French horn.
Because you played the French horn. There you go.
And I learned the chords on the guitar. So
but writing charts is different than reading them, isn't it?
Yeah, I can write them. I can barely read them, but I can write them.
Well,
I was doing horn arrangements that I couldn't read.
Wow.
And I would
are you self-taught for writing?
No, I learned it in the class. I'm a slow reader. I couldn't really keep up with all the people reading. So I had to learn the parts and kind of, because they had middle school. They were all ahead of me,
But you couldn't get in the band in middle school, so.
Yeah, I couldn't get in. So I didn't read, but I knew I'd been playing the steel band by ear, playing the guitar by ear. And I learned all of the names of all the chords that I knew. And I knew how to write a chord chart. So with my limited knowledge of writing notation and things like that, in rhythm, I could write good rhythm charts. So I get up, I make the plan for the day, how we're going to do the demo, who the players were. And I had to go in there and I had to come up with an arrangement for these, publishing demos. And I did it all the time. And that's how I learned how to make records. I had to rehearse them. I had to write the charts, call the guys, look at the clock, make sure we made it, whatever we had to do by noon, set up time. If the guys weren't playing it right, I had to correct them and make sure they were on point with the music. So I was the guy, I was responsible for keeping stuff. And I didn't even know I could do it. I just did it,
And so while you were doing that, were you happy doing that? Did you wish you were playing more? Were you were happy doing that?
No, I had gigs at night. I would do gigs at night and stuff.
But producing and writing charts, all of that, you like that?
I was having a full musical life.
You gave up the flower shop gig?
Yeah, but I learned the flower shop was after the flower shop. But I did all these cool stuff, and even by the time I did an album on Casablanca in 1980, Keb Mo album, and it was a major label album. I was in there. I got to watch Barney Perkins not produce, but mix my record. I know you know who Barney Perkins is. He's gone on, but he mixed all those Anita Baker records. And I sat and got a college course in watching Barney Perkins mix records.
Wow.
That's why when you put my record on, you know, I know tricks and things about space and stuff. So I know how to make my records sound good,
Are you a good student in life in general? Do you pay attention to things?
I pay
do,
attention.
don't you?
Yeah, I want to know how to do things.
And
I don't. I'm basically a follower.
No, you're not.
No, but they say followers end up becoming good leaders.
Well, there you go.
A follower can become a good leader. So I've developed into being a leader, but I'm still at heart a follower. I'm like a beginner. I'm not a.
Well, you're humble and you pay attention, and that's how you learn.
And I listen and I trust my instincts about what I'm hearing. I had to learn that one. I used to be like, well, I'm not going to say anything because it's not enough. But I started saying things and stuff started working when I would speak up. And
And even though you have medium self-esteem, you have confidence and you know what you're doing.
I have a built up confidence over years. It's not like some kind of it's just okay. I think I go like, well, what I'm doing seems to work. Other things are working better though. There's a lot of things out there working better, but I know my stuff is working. And like getting nominated for the Americana Grammy this year.
Yes.
It's huge,
It's huge. And the category, and you deserve to be there, and it's thrilling, and I hope you win.
I'm like, wow, whoa. And there with Bonnie Raitt, Robert Plant, Alison Krauss, and Dr. John, and was the other one? Missing one.
You are? Oh, no.
I'm missing the other. Oh, Brandy Carlisle.
Right.
I'm like, holy moly. That's a maybe it ain't a home run, but it's a double.
Oh, come on. Good to be. It's a great album. It's got the before mentioned The Medicine Man on it, and Good Strong Woman. It's great. It's great. It's a great.
So, those kind of things, actual things, people, liking what I do, those things give me a kind of a validation. I wouldn't call it a confidence. It's a validation.
Absolutely.
It makes me also, I still listen to everyone around me. I don't just bark out orders. I listen to everyone. And when it's a good idea, it's a good idea. But if it's not, I go, nope, we're going the other way. Maybe.
And you play in lots of different configurations too. Snuffy was telling me that you did a thing with your son, like a two-person. Did you do a thing with your son for a while?
Yeah, he plays the drums and I just play the guitar. And he sits with him and I are like twins. We're like Frick and Frack. Because he knows me musically, and he's a badass drummer.
Oh God! Are you guys going to do something again?
He's got his own. He's got his own. I'm lightweight compared with his.
Well, I don't know about that, but
no, he does. He goes by the name of K. Roosevelt. He works with a lot of hip hopsters and making beats and those guys that do all that kind of stuff. He's good at sampling, putting down keyboard stuff and playing live drums and guitar and bass and stuff. So he's got his own thing going. He's got some stuff out.
By the way, Joe Server says
instinctually we just think alike in a whole different kind of way. We're totally different and totally the same at the same time.
That must make for some beautiful music.
Yeah, it's really cool.
So when was it that you guys were playing out together?
I don't know. We did some gigs. Sometimes I just say, hey man, you want to come out and play some gigs?
Yeah.
And you just bring a kick snare and hi-hat and sit and play with me.
I love that.
We've done Jazz Fest, Franklin Theater. I took him with the band. I took him to Scandinavia one time. because the drummer, also the drummer, the last minute, got some passport problems. Said, well, I guess you're coming. Come on. The drums were back. He murdered it, just killed it.
Okay, so speaking of sons, Joe Server says that his son's band, Southern Avenue, did a few concert gigs with you and Cheryl this summer.
Yeah, they're awesome.
So Joe's on here. So father-son things.
Whose kid is his? Whose is the?
I don't know which one his kid
is.
I don't know. Tell me who your son is, Joe. I don't know what instrument he played, but yeah, in that band. All these people are writing notes, and I'm like I don't want to read them and not pay attention to you. So Joe, tell us what your son played. So, okay. So you're doing this producing, you're in the studio, you're doing all this session work. I know it happens a little later in life for you. It didn't happen young. You in 1980, you have your first solo album. How does that happen? How do you get from doing the session work to getting your own album? And how much had you been writing before? Like, how much stuff did you have when that happened?
To get the Casablanca deal, the 1980 record, came out of getting a publishing deal through the demo work I was doing, because every now and then I'd do one of my songs, and I got a publishing deal at Irving Almo. Small one. It was a puny little deal.
Puny little deal.
You know what I mean? It wasn't a big, great deal, but I got a deal, and I was getting my songs out there. But I never get many covers because there was kind of nothing really. No one was really looking for what I was doing. But that led me into making a demo on my own, which somebody else approached me about doing a demo. I did they financed my demo, and she's a dear friend named Chris Bennett. She financed my demo, went in, got me a record deal because I was working with Casablanca on their demo crew as well, publishing things. It's a deal, and I got a deal there. And then out of the deal, I paid her money back for the demo she financed. And she went on and was executive producer of my record. And that came out of that, and so it's always comes out of something. The Sony deal came out of when I was, my friend Chick Streetman, his name is Charles Streetman, he goes by Chick Streetman. And I wanted to meet Taj Mahal. And he grew up in the neighborhood with Taj Mahal, and he lived in LA, and Taj came to record. So that's the only time I ever I want to meet Taj Mahal. So he took me.
And boy, have you met Taj Mahal. You played with Taj. Boy, have you met Taj Mahal.
Yeah. So he took me to the studio where Taj was recording. And he said, bring your demo tapes. And I had made these tapes to sell. They weren't demos. They were like, I decided I wanted to be in. Anyway, that's another story. It keeps going.
That's all right. That's all right. I want to hear it all.
So I go in and meet Taj, and Chick says, "Why don't you give him one of your tapes, man?" I said,
"God,
here's my tape." And then I said, I had another one. I said, "Well, the producer John Porter, who ended up getting me my record deal, I gave him one too." And of course, all my tapes had my phone number on it because I'm pushing gigs. This is my promotion.
Sure.
So I go, so the next day I get a call from John Porter, He goes, "You got any more songs?" I said, "Yeah, I got some more."
How many were on the demo?
8.
Good. And he wants more. Okay, this is
good. You got any more songs? So yeah, I got a few more, So I went over there and he put together a thing and presented it to several record companies, which they all said no. And then, but they would have it. At Sony, Michael Kaplan and another gentleman, Harvey Leeds, the OK label. Sony owned the OK label, OKEH. And so they resurrected that label, and they need some artists for it. And they looked around the office and said, "Who do we got here?" And they found G Love, and they found me. And they said, "Sign that." They called me, just signed me, and they gave me the deal. And they saw my picture. I had a picture and everything in there, and they said, "Well, okay." And then by the time when the deal was signed, they happened to casually ask me how old I was. I said 41. They freaked
Wow.
out because I was 41. It's too late. I already signed the deal. You know?
Lucky for that. Lucky for that, they asked that question after.
Yeah, 2041. So they figured they had two young artists because G Love was like 19 or 20. He was really young.
Right.
I was 41, you know. So they, put all that together, and I made my record and with John Porter, and there we are.
And how did it change from, so the first record's Kevin Moore, but then it becomes Keb Mo. What made that transition happen?
On my demo tape, which is my master tape to me, my demo tape,
Right.
I called it Kevin Moore, AKA Keb Mo. That's the name. So the name of the thing was AKA Keb Mo. So when they called me, they asked for Keb Mo, and they called me from Sony. I said, no, that's just the name of my record, Keb Mo. They said, well, we like Keb Mo. And I thought to myself, well, let me see. Okay.
Let me think about that. Yeah, okay.
No one's called for Kevin Moore in a long ass time.
Wow. And so it's just like a couple years later, you win your first Grammy. Like that happens pretty damn fast, doesn't it?
It was 2 years. Yeah, I made another second record. Yeah.
So, okay. So what's that like? What is that like, Kevin?
Holy, you know what? Holy, like, really?
Right?
A Grammy? Really? And I remember.
And 5 of them, but I mean, and maybe 6 and very soon. But that first one, I have to imagine, what was that like when you, and not only to be nominated, but now you win.
I'm in the category with Etta James, B.B. King.
Holy shit.
In the category. Me and I'm going like, well, okay. Okay, there we go. And David Foster's up there reading the thing names off, and God. David Foster calls my name. I'm like, I said, holy. And you never think, if you think you're gonna win it, you ain't gonna win it.
So do you have something planned that do you not have anything planned? No.
No, I don't. No. It's too embarrassing to be sad. I'd rather have nothing to say than be sitting there with a note in my pocket and don't get called.
So you're thinking on your feet. How'd you do?
I thanked, a few people and just made it short and sweet because I saw a lot of people get there and they talk too long. And I didn't want to be that guy. Yes, they
do.
They just talk too long.
Did you thank God and Jesus and all of that?
No. I didn't thank Jesus.
Did you thank your mother?
I think I thanked Sony. I forgot and thanked the Grateful is such a surprise. I forgot. I don't know who I thanked. I thanked everybody. I just a big thank you. And yeah.
How was it winning a Lifetime Achievement Award not too long ago? The Americana Lifetime Achievement Award. That had to be pretty. I just had to remind
them that I'm, that's something you get when you're about dead or something. So I don't.
You got more.
Not dead yet.
Oh my God. This is pretty damn good, exciting company.
It's really good. The Americana Association, there it is right there. I got it on the wall. Where is it? Where's it? Oh, there it is over there.
You've won a lot of those. You've won, I mean, not the Lifetime one, but haven't you won like 14? No,
that's the blues.
Oh, that's the I can't keep track of all your awards. You got so many damn awards. So do you get to go to the Grammys this year? I mean, they're doing them live.
It's tight. I think I'll get to go. It's going to be tight. And I think it's going to be at the Staples Center again, Yeah.
How did the pandemic, speaking of, okay, so let's talk about the Medicine Man. When the pandemic struck, what were you in the middle of? Did you have dates planned that you had to cancel? What was going on for you then?
Yeah, I was about to go on tour.
Yeah.
And then everything started getting canceled. And I just said, oh, okay.
Wait, don't sit back. It's hard to see you because of the light. Thank you. Yeah. We want to see your pretty face.
There we go.
There you go.
Yeah. I'm
So gigs were getting canceled?
Yeah.
And so what did you do with, okay, were you productive, or did you lay around? Did you take the time to relax? What did you do and everything?
I just relaxed.
Did you?
I ain't doing nothing. I'm just gonna relax. You know, I had some plan to make a record. But you know what I'm gonna do?
What?
I gotta get up because I have to take a cigarette break.
You have to take a cigarette break? You
Not
can
a
do
cigarette break. I'm just gonna go in there and like powder my nose.
Go powder your nose. Go ahead, go powder your nose.
Everybody busy till I get back. Everybody don't go anywhere.
Don't go anywhere.
Right back.
He'll be right back. He's going to take a cigarette break. So, oh boy, he actually went off the air. That is not good. Oh my God. I hope he comes back in on the broadcast. He wasn't supposed to turn his camera off, but we're still here. We're still live, and hopefully Keb is going to get back in here. Oh my Lord. This is the first time a guest has taken a cigarette break during a show. Actually, that's not true. Ed Asner got up and went, and people are laughing. Hi, Tony. So Ed Asner got up during an interview. Louise Palenker and I were at Ed Asner's house, and he got up and he was in his slippers and his boxers, and he got up and he went and took a pee. I think that's what Kevin was really, I shouldn't say that. I don't know what he's really going to go do. I don't know. I'm hoping he comes back on. Now I have to like text him and make sure he can get back on. How long am I going to have to? Where is he? Oh, a great interview. Thank you, Julie. I don't know. I'm really on the fly now. This is the first me completely alone. At least last time when Ed Asner went to the bathroom in his slippers and his boxers, I had Louise there with me, and I think she jumped into the shot. And so if you guys have questions, cigarette break, I know, right, Pia? So if you guys have questions, now's the time. Joe, I'm going to get in there that your son was the bass player, is the bass player. Yes, he's just one of a kind indeed, Laura. All right, so I'm reading your comments now. Keb played a terrific guitar solo on the song Someday by Richie Furay. Yes, yes, incredible career. Southern Avenue is based in Memphis, so also in Tennessee. So hi, everybody. I'm still talking to you. I don't know if Kevin can get back in. I feel like I have to call him and see if he's coming back in. Oh my God. Where is he? He turned his phone off. That's not a good thing. He better not be gone, because you know what? I have a surprise for you guys, because something that he doesn't do, he promised to do here. I didn't think he was going to turn off. There he is. Okay, I was just getting ready to call you. I'm like freaking out. I didn't know you were going to like turn off your whole thing. Wait a minute. Now you're in darkness. What happened to your light? Your light is gone. Come back, put your light back on. Oh, there you are. Okay. I cannot believe you turned your camera. I was like, holy shit, I'm sitting here by myself. All right. Wait, no, now we can't hear you. No. Now we can't hear you. Get the sound going. Oh shit.
There we go.
Oh, there you. Oh God, thank God. I'm sitting here like, okay, now this is called being in the box.
You know, keep talking. God, that's such an effort. Jesus. Sorry,
by
folks.
The way, Joe's son, is Evan, the bass player from that band. Nice. Yeah. Cool. Okay, I was saying, this isn't the first time somebody's gotten up during an interview. Ed Asner got up and in his boxer shorts and fuzzy slippers and went to pee. But I was in his house. I was sitting in his house when he did it. And so my producer jumped on camera with me. This is the first time I got left alone on a Zoom. Oh my God. All right. For this, you owe me in the middle of here a little. You owe me a little. Yeah. You owe me a little, like, so that I can breathe again. I think that we're going to talk about your books. But before we talk about your books, you're going to play me a song, because I begged and pleaded with Kelly, because Life is Beautiful. True. Well, it is my song with Snuffy. It is the song of joy and happiness. Somebody wrote to me yesterday and said that he plays your song every single night in clubs. He does about 200 gigs a year, and he's been doing it for years. And every time he plays that song, the whole audience starts to sing with him before he's finished. Really? It's a beautiful thing.
Wow.
It's a beautiful thing.
I wrote that with a guy named Colin Linden.
Okay, so tell us the story of Life is Beautiful first, because Was that like something that did it come fast? Did you labor over it? I mean, because it's just so fucking brilliant.
No, it kind of went, I was living in LA still before I moved in.
Wait, sit up so we can see you in the light.
Come on, light, bring me the light.
Light.
I need light. So I was living in LA.
Yeah.
You know, and Colin came over one day. He was in town, and he was living in Toronto. No, he was living in Nashville, and but he's from Toronto, as they call it. Anyway, and we just started sitting on the couch playing guitar.
Yeah,
and we started. Let's write a song. We wrote that song.
Like in one thing.
Yeah, it was like probably wasn't even 30 minutes.
Oh my God! And did you know? You had to know. You had to know as soon as you didn't know. Really?
No idea.
Really?
Yeah.
And so what'd you do with it? Is when you wrote it? So what was the process for it?
I made a little demo. I think I probably put it on my recorded it on something. Maybe went out in the studio and recorded it on our phones or something.
Yeah.
Something really, you know.
Yeah.
And then I went in the studio and started cutting it, you know, and then I cut it. I was about to make a record, yeah. And I don't write a lot of songs. People think I don't have an extensive like bunch of songs.
Oh, please, you are so you have so many. Get out of here.
No, I
listened to your music all day today, and I don't think I heard the same song twice.
I use almost everything I write. Almost. I got some songs, but most is I'm a lazy writer. Here's what I do. I live my life.
I like that.
I live my life. And I don't want to be sitting writing all the time. It's like I didn't do homework when I was in school. I'm not going to say, teach me in the classroom. You know, I want to learn there. I don't want to go home and spend my free time, my lifetime, trying to cram things in my head that was useless crap that I know I didn't need to know.
Yeah.
You know?
Did any of that architecture stuff ever come in handy? Did you ever like?
Yeah, it comes in handy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, know it's my building. But I just didn't want to, I live. So when I get a subject, to me, it's all about subject matter. I'm a big fan of Steely Dan.
Okay.
You know? Now, what I think is the most amazing thing about Steely Dan, besides the musicianship and the records, and everything about them, is the subject matter.
But your subject matter, come on, shave your legs. Okay.
Subject matter.
All right. I want to know, are you really that guy? I want to know you're really that guy. Are you really that guy that doesn't care and that really because I believe you. I
don't know. I don't care. I'm a kid of the 60s. I was, you know, women were hairy in the 60s.
Women were hairy. Yeah.
You know, women had armpit hair.
Gregory Harrison is saying, please tell Keb hi. You shot a TV movie together up in Vancouver. I love Gregory. Yeah. Gregory was just on recently. Gregory's a great guy.
Oh man. Cool.
Okay, so you wrote Life is Beautiful really fast. Now, the first person you play that demo for, they had to know when you played it.
I Shaved Your Legs, I knew it was cool. But the guy I wrote it with, Jeff Pierce, my keyboard player, he was writing like, he didn't quite get it, but he's a great songwriter.
Yeah, but he's a guy, because any woman you were going to play that song for, she was going to get it.
And I said, like, you don't have to shave your legs for me. He said, what? No, man, that's gonna. And then we get it out there, because he was in the band. Like, when the first time we play it,
the women go crazy.
Nuts. He was like,
women go crazy.
Yeah, we were like, I said,
yeah. Yep.
And I have a sixth sense about knowing kind of what's really going to work, you know?
I know you do.
You know, and so, and I'm because I was trained by all those demo So I had to do writing for like songs that became hits and like, did the demos and stuff. And so I got
a sense of what
I got a sense of the anatomy of what a great song was,
And so like Good Strong Woman, your mom was one. And I think you genuinely have an appreciation like that. You have to have written all these songs.
I love women, yeah. But I write. I'm a lazy guy. I write. A lot of people want to write. I mean, I probably write, I don't know, 15% myself, and do co-writes and stuff. Because I'm sitting there and I'm going like I just recently wrote a song for a movie. And let me get back in the light. I go with my friend John Parker. I write a lot of songs with John Lewis Parker. And I take the thing over there and I get it going. And sometimes you need people to just kind of just, another mind just to kind of just,
Yeah.
The little things.
The little thing. Yeah,
little
sure.
things, And once the song is there, I remember listening to my girlfriend's house, and she wanted to play an old girlfriend, and she pulled out the music for Fantasy by Earth, Wind and Fire. I had paid no attention to that song whatsoever, and I started listening to those lyrics of that song. I was like, whoa, man, that's a great song, and just.
Did you know Allie Willis? She was a good friend of mine. She wrote September. Do you know Allie?
She was during that time where she was there because she always drove her big DeSoto on the lot, big 55 DeSoto she had, brown and white.
Sounds like Allie.
She was balling. She was balling, and I was kind of. She was hot then.
She was.
And I mean, she told me the September story at a party one time. It's like great. She was some of Mari Weiss, that body I was like, hold her.
She didn't even know what body art was. Yeah.
She's going like, what the fuck is a body art?
Exactly. Served her well. All right. So let's get back to Life is Beautiful. So this song is written in like 30 minutes.
You don't always know what's going to resonate. I know what a good song sounds like. And I know the sense of kind of balance, harmony, melody, enough things, pictures, and, things like that. And also truth is probably the biggest factor.
Absolutely. Which is why you don't have to shave your legs
that's even more important than craft. I went to because Good Strong Woman, Darius Rucker came and did a guest spot on there. And before he came in, I went back.
Yeah.
Listen to, because someone, and listen to all the Hootie and the Blowfish, and because I have to admit, I heard it, but I missed it. Because those songs weren't conventionally written songs like a David Foster song or a Allie Willis song. They weren't like, And I went back and listened to Hootie and the Blowfish.
I love them.
The truth and the honesty was like fucking just, I'm like, oh.
What about The Worst Is Yet to Come?
Huh?
How about what about the Worst Is Yet to Come? What's the story behind that?
Oh,
was that an arduous song to write, or did that just come? Because it's just so brilliant.
The first thing was the hook, the worst is yet to come. I thought the worst is yet to come. I like that, and it's an opportunity for sarcasm.
Sarcasm is good.
and the blues. So it's like, woke up this morning, wrong side of the bed, whatever happened last night, feel it in my head. Lord have mercy. The day ain't even done. I got a bad feeling that the worst is yet to come.
So great.
It's just like, it's bad,
Now, did you know when you wrote that one? Oh, yeah.
I liked it. I'm the first critic. And my favorite, when you get down, it goes like, got back to my house, opened up the door. She took everything I had, and the dog took a shit on the floor. That's the blues. That's what I love about the blues when they just go in there like, nobody loves me but my mother. She could be jiving too.
Oh my God.
Stuff like that.
So you started writing children's books.
No, I didn't.
So you got 4 of them. I have the Life is Beautiful.
Here we
one.
are. Look at
I'm
this.
so excited. So, and you guys can have it too. And it's the lyrics to the song. And
it's just a song.
Will you read us the I'm Amazing? Because your new books, I'm Amazing. You got it there?
I got it here.
Will you read it to us?
Yeah.
I love being read to. You know, Keb, I used to have a literary salon in my living room, and Allie performed in my living room, and guys from Earth, Wind and Fire, and Snuffy did, and Mickey Dolenz read his children's book in my living room to us.
Really?
Yeah, so read your book to us, Keb.
Okay. I'm Amazing. Co-written by Robbie Brooks Moore. That's my wife down in the ceiling and all like that.
Oh. But wait, who's your illustrator? Your illustrator is great.
Illustrator is I need glasses for him.
Okay.
Here we go. Chris Saunders.
Chris Saunders. Okay. And did your publisher find him for you?
Yeah, they did this. This is through the Flower Pot Press. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
It's I have the Life is Beautiful. It's gorgeous.
Once again, they approached us about doing these books, and
they're beautiful.
This is the children's song. What's great about this song is I played this for the grown-ups don't really get it. I'm amazing, because it can come off as braggadocious, but it's like coming from a place of I come from low self-esteem or low worth.
Yeah, when you're a kid, you've got to feel that. Yes, that's important.
This is I guess I was speaking to the child in me. So it's like, I'm amazing. So now let's go. I'm incredible. I'm a miracle, a dream come true. I'm marvelous. I'm beautiful. Guess what? So are you.
No.
Little mirror.
I love it.
The song goes like this. I'll play a little bit of the song.
Yay, I was going to ask.
The song and the verses, that's just the chorus. Brother, I need to talk to you. Might sound strange, and you probably think I'm crazy, and I've lost my mind. Okay, I'm amazing, incredible. I'm a miracle, a dream come true. And I'm marvelous, I'm beautiful. Guess what? So are you.
All right, wait, don't put that guitar down, because while you got it up. Yeah, I'm so excited when Kelly told me you agreed that you would sing it. You please sing Life is Beautiful, because it just will make my whole thing here.
Let's see what we got here. Let's go. I'll do it a key lower.
Okay, anything you want.
I did my warm up, and I'm not having that really good. This time I promise not to cut you. I'm just gonna get
Don't turn the camera off.
I won't. No, I didn't. The whole computer shut down. The battery went dead.
I was like, where the hell did he go? That was supposed to be a 1-minute break. You scared the hell out of me.
I'm serious about it. That's gone but not forgotten. Here we go.
Yeah.
All right. I had everything. I had my tea, my water.
All right, you're back.
I plugged my computer up. Okay.
There you go.
Hang on. Let me get this right. You see, I got this thing sitting on a box. I got this thing all
You're all rigged. Well, people don't know out there that you had a big calamity today, and you're here anyway, so.
Yeah. Let's go drifting through the trees. Let's go sailing on the sea. Let's go dancing on the juke joint floor and leave our troubles all behind. Have a party so easily forgotten. Most important thing, like the melody in the moonlight in your eyes, and a song that lasts forever and keeps on getting better all the time. Well, life is beautiful, life is wondrous. Every star above is shining just for us. Life is beautiful on a stormy night. Somewhere in the world, the sun is shining bright. Well, I get crazy, so afraid I might lose you one fine day, and I'll be nothing but just a tired old man. I don't want to be without you at the party. So easily forgotten are the most important thing. Oh, like I love you, I love you, I do. And I didn't make them all spend my days and nights walking through this crazy world with you. Life is beautiful, oh, life is wondrous. Every star above is shining just for us. Life is beautiful on a stormy night. Somewhere in the world, sun is shining. Well, you know, shining, shining bright. Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
And it keeps on getting better. I'm telling you, Keb, every single time I hear it, there is no way to listen to that song and not be joyful and not feel wondrous.
That's the opposite of the worst yet, because the bookends.
It is just, I'm telling you, we listen to that song, like we listen to it like every day. It's just, it's a perfect song.
It's truth, I think, but, back to saying, like, I got a really education, listening about truth in song, because Hootie and the Blowfish, they're in what they have, I think, 2 albums in the top 13 all-time selling records of all time.
Is that true?
Yeah, Hootie and the Blowfish.
I remember, I was a big fan, but I didn't realize that. Deal.
But when I went back and listened to this song, it's all truth and honesty. And my mind was blown. I was like, wow, that's what it is. And it really reinvigorated my commitment to really truthfulness.
Oh, but you always tell the truth. Come on.
Yeah.
And you tell truths that nobody else touches.
Well, I like to be a little uncomfortable when I sing.
Really? What's that about?
Well, I think, you ever talk with someone, you have a conversation with someone, and there's something you want to say to someone, and you want to say it, but you're scared. And you get that, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's maybe like it's with somebody, or someone you're married to, going out with, a friend, a question you want and you ask it anyway. And,
and that feeling, that's the feeling.
I want to feel like that.
Wow.
I want to feel a little uncomfortable, all the time. Not just totally like, oh, yeah, we're having a good time, Nah, I want to.
All right. So speaking of feeling a little uncomfortable, we haven't talked about this. You can say no, but my audience of women, we're the COVID crazy. So I want you to play the Medicine Man, but would you play Shave Your Legs? Would you do that for us women out there who just love your ass for writing that damn song?
I'll play it. Let me see. I do it in open tuning, so I'll do it like in a sentence.
Okay.
Wait a minute. I'm gonna do a version just for y'all.
Okay.
You don't need no fancy tricks, painted eyes or glossy lips. And I love you just the way you are. Hope you don't mind my beat up car. You don't have to change your dress, don't have to change your shoes. And don't try to hide your natural looks. Forget about the cover, let me read the book. But don't get me wrong, I like them heels, but the way I feel is the way I feel. I like that stuff. You don't have to change your dress, don't have to change your shoes. Darling, go ahead, be wild and free. You don't have to shave your legs for me. No, don't do it, baby. Honey, babe, don't starve yourself. You're looking good, you're looking well. And I'm proud to have you by my side. Glad to have you in my life. Yes, I am. You don't have to clean my house. Don't have to wash my clothes. So darling, go ahead, be wild and free. You don't have to shave your legs for me. Oh, don't do it, baby. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Somebody wrote, it's the most romantic lyric ever written. You know, that is the way to get a woman. You don't have to clean for me. You don't. I just love it. I love it. I love it.
Woman doesn't want to be a maid and a prostitute, you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. Are you okay? So you're like a spiritual guy and you are a philanthropic guy. Where did the activism come from? Was your mother an activist? Where did this come from in you?
60s. I'm a 60s guy.
Yeah, me too. Okay, so did you march? I mean, I marched on Washington when I was just a kid. You were far away. I was in New York, but were you active then?
It's an awareness. It's like when you I'm 71 years old. So I was born in 51, and I watched, when by the time Marvin Gaye, What's Going On came out, there have been several movements. There was the No Nukes movement. There was all these things, and people were talking about oil. They were talking about like smog and climate. They were talking about things back then, and but it was just like, oh, those hippies, they're crazy. They're just out there, But that culture, I really connected with that culture, like the culture that just happened when the Beatles hit the United, hit the coast. Everything changed.
What about the Vietnam War? Were you?
I was called. I didn't go.
How'd you get out of it?
Draft dodger.
Were you really? How'd you get away with it?
I stalled for time. As a kid, I had tuberculosis. Until I was like 5 years old. So they don't like sick people in the Army. So I said, well, I had tuberculosis as a kid. My lungs were compromised. I couldn't really run like all the other kids. I would get tired before I got basically like my lungs are compromised a little bit.
But that's legit, though, isn't it?
but that kept them mailing things back and forth till they finally got
Were you
tired.
did you have a number?
Yeah, it came up.
What was your number? Do you remember?
It came up. Oh, it came up. And by the time they had got tired of my bullshit, they sent me a letter to come for my pre-induction physical.
Ooh.
2 weeks then. And I was all packed up to go to Canada.
Really?
Yeah, I was not going.
Yeah.
You know, because Muhammad Ali saved my life when he said, you know, the Viet Cong ain't done nothing to me. You know, I'm not going over there fighting, you know? And so I held to that because I held that in high regard. Plus, I wanted to live. I don't want to go die for some stupid war. Somebody else. Okay, that's like, you know, I don't know, just go fight for your country. And then in the 60s, as a black man, I felt this country ain't doing nothing for me. Screw y'all. You know what I mean? That's how I felt then. You may be a little more patriotic now, but back during that time, I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. And I was little, I weighed all of 145 pounds, 6'2". You know? No, just a bad idea. And
you know, Gregory Harrison, that you made that movie with, that was on here a little bit ago, the actor, he was the first moral objector that got away with it because he wasn't religious. He wasn't a religious objector. He was a moral that he wouldn't kill, and he like set a precedent.
And I went to priests. They had these clinics where you could go to tell you how to get out and go to the draft. But I stalled all the time, and then 2 weeks to my physical.
Yeah.
A week after I got that letter, they started the all-volunteer army.
Wow. You've had a lot of blessing. You've had like a lot of kismet luck, right?
Yes, I've had a lot of kismet. Yes. Do
you believe in fate? Do you believe in destiny? Do you believe things are meant to be? Do you believe you've had a guardian angel? Do you believe in any of that stuff?
I know I've had something. I don't know. It's not even a matter of beliefs. To me, beliefs is that there's maybe some little doubt in there just to believe it. No, I know something is working because I'm too tuned in my mind and my heart and what's happened to me, especially the older I get. And all the times when it could have went the other way. You know, so many times I could have stumbled and been a whole different life. And I'm here standing talking to you right now. Oh yeah. Something was watching over me, snatching me up. No.
Did you ever, I'm in recovery. I'm a sober person. Did you ever hit a wall with that? Was that ever a problem for you? No. Substances, you're not an addict, alcoholic person.
But I love the Friends of Bill V. I love them. I have a lot of friends. I love it. It's the best program of anything to be going to get you to transform your life, you know. And sometimes I wish I had some problems like that so I could go to the meetings and really delve into it because it's so amazing because the people that go there really recover and a lot of people do really fantastic things. I mean, I got my friends like Snuffy's my friend. I was friends with Dr. John. I'm friends with Bonnie Raitt, Charlie Musselwhite, Chuck Lorre, all these.
Speaking of Chuck Lorre, Be Positive, that you wrote that you composed that music with him for a good friend of mine who actually I can't say he was the dresser, the stylist, the clothing stylist on that show on Be Positive. Yeah. Wow. And there's a couple of other people that are in that cast that I won't mention, but they're also friends of Bill's. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, you know, that whole thing. And because I used to be kind of smug about alcoholism. What is with this alcohol, this drug?
You never had that problem.
I tried it, never had a problem with it. I tried cocaine, I did like acid.
That was fun.
I smoked weed, I drank, you know, but I never was like, I gotta have one. I just don't have that bone, you know. But I was a little smug about it. I remember one time, but all the people I was smug about, I became friends with them. I've been friends with so many people in the program, you know, and they would share. I had a girlfriend who's been on for a while, and she was in the program. And she'd come back and she'd tell me all this stuff about them. I'm like, what? You know, and I'd be like, wow, can I go? I want to go to that meeting.
Well, there
Anyway,
is a place you can go. There's the other
yeah,
thing that for people that are friends of people.
yeah. Al-Anon, yeah.
Yeah, that thing.
I mean, I'm friends with Chip Eston, and
Mhm.
all these. And so these people have become some of my greatest friends and my greatest allies, in the program. And I
Mhm.
see, and where I connect with the program is that I'm very much into metaphysics and the spirituality and into God. I was a Buddhist for like 15 years.
Okay,
And
so wait a minute. You were a Buddha, you're not anymore?
I don't like denominations.
Mhm.
I mean, to me, like what happens is when an organization gets attached to a spiritual phenomenon that's bigger than, like scheduling and meetings and who's in charge of what and all that stuff. And people start having like, there becomes a culture surrounding it, as opposed to a deeper seeking of truth, and a pecking order ensues. I grew up in the Baptist church and I saw all that stuff. I even
Do you
saw
pray? Do you have your own way of praying?
everything out of my mouth is a prayer.
Oh, I
I
love
love to
that
stop
so
and pray.
much.
I love to stop and pray. I just watch what I'm thinking about. I watch what I'm putting my attention on, because that's what
Oh
prayer
God, that
is.
just gave me goosebumps. Go ahead.
Prayer is what you're putting your attention on. It's even deeper than the words. The words are like, because the spirit hears your pure thoughts, not your words.
Okay, but my thoughts aren't always pure thoughts, aren't perfect
No, they're not
thoughts.
pure thought. Your pure thought, like thought is a commodity. Like
the thought that I choose.
Yeah, you'll have a thought, and then you'll share it with me, and I might go up, might fully understand. Well, what do you mean by that? So the words cannot describe a true thought, because the thought is pure. It's what's between you and the words. They call it the gap.
I believe that.
And in the gap is where everything happens. So I watch what I put my attention on and how I'm viewing my stuff, and words are powerful because that's part of thought. Thoughts are words. Words are thoughts going into action, giving sound, So that whole thing about now let us pray, I think the thoughts, they always say thoughts and prayers. My thoughts and prayers are with you. Thoughts and prayers are the same
Charlie
thing.
Schlatter just wrote "Hand It Over" is one of your best songs about prayer.
Yeah, it is. Prayer is like, it's just like, that song's like, it's like that, if your problems won't go away and you're worried night and day, just hand it over, which means surrender, just surrender. You don't know, just don't do nothing. Get on your knees and pray. Put some attention to it. It's like, you know what I mean?
I love it.
Put your attention on it. And I used to do things like when I was when something good.
Wait, Charlie just said he sang that with you on "Touched by an Angel."
Yeah, he did.
But that line, everything out of my mouth is a prayer. Have you used that line in a song? That is an unbelievable sentence right there.
I got that from Deepak Chopra.
Oof.
I
think he'd lend it to you. Deepak's a good guy.
It's truth. It's just truth. And when I thought about it, oftentimes I'll try to explain myself, like that. If you're having a discussion, an argument, heated, and it's always trying to say what you're thinking, because words are limited. Do
you meditate?
Say I have a quiet moment in the morning. Yeah. Reset at the reset button. But that part of my life is what fuels everything. Everything, this whole Keb Mo thing came out of my moment of surrender. when I just stopped trying to think about things. I stopped trying to, they say like don't overthink stuff. Well, I overthink music really a lot, but life, I don't overthink life. I let it come in. I trust it. I'm a big fan of like, people I read, and I got into Buddhism for a long time, but the Eckhart Tolle.
Oh yeah.
Power Now. It's like, he has a phrase like, how do you know when the right thing is happening? How do you know if it's happening is the right thing? He says, because it's happening. Because the universe, as it moves, and then you watch your stars, it's pretty reliable. That thing moves around kind of right on point. It doesn't make mistakes.
I don't believe in mistakes. I don't believe in accidents.
There's no mistakes. It does exactly what it's supposed to do. And that's
do you trust yourself in the moment?
Yeah, I trust.
Are you present?
I'm present. I trust what happens. And it's either like some result of some karmic thing, or just destiny, or it's just the stars moving, and just my life moving in a way that's, I don't even understand. How am I supposed to understand that?
How'd you meet your wife? Was that something that you think was destined to happen?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. All three of them.
Well, I'm on my third situation here.
Well, like wives are relationships. We to me, relationships are relationships. All of them: mother, father, friends, wives, girlfriends, boss, people, whatever. It's a relationship. Meaning that there's a kind of like a reflection thing going on. Like there's a,
do you let that just happen, or do you make a conscious effort do you work at it? Or do you just let it be?
I work at them, but I let them be. I'm learning all the time. I'm learning the power of arguing these days, because I like peace so much. I don't argue with people, but I'm learning that arguing is just loud communicating.
So is there a healthy way to argue for you?
Yeah, to listen.
I was just going to say, do you listen when you argue?
Listen, you have to listen. And you have
Can you do that when you're angry?
Yeah. Sometimes I just fake loudness to get people's attention. I'm calm all the time. I'll just get upset, but very rarely do I actually get mad. I'll just get loud to make a point, but I'm always in that space. My aim is to always be in that space of just, where I can hear, and I don't go insane in the moment and not listen, and try to listen. And sometimes, sometimes when we're talking, we're just trying to wait our turn to say something rather than listening.
And not listening. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, break comes in, we just put something in there rather than just let the silence just, we're having a conversation. We're, people are listening to us talking. We're having a conversation. So all that, noise, just no, we don't need all that noise.
We don't need all that noise.
We can so the noise I make, if I'm going to make some noise, I want it to be of some service to somebody.
But also listening is a form of empathy. You're an empathetic person, because you are. That's why you write the lyrics that you write. That's why you write the music that you write, because you do listen and you do pay attention. Yeah,
I want to serve. I want to say something that matters, and if it's even if it's lighthearted, especially if it's heavyweight, like things, and not too much heavy stuff. But I try to keep it like life is beautiful and fun in a fun way. But yeah, I take my job very seriously.
Well, it shows.
And I made a deal with
the universe.
I made a contract with my record company. There's a contract, all these contracts with record companies and all that stuff. My contract is not with a record company. My contract is with the universe. And that contract is the best contract you're ever going to have, because it's going to give you more than you can ever dream for. It's going to put you in places where you can't even think to put yourself. It's going to orchestrate your life in a way you can't imagine. So I go with that, my service and I said, okay, I remember the moment. I had a moment. It was in Santa Monica on Bay Street. I lived on Bay Street, right off Main Street. And I said, "Okay, God, okay, I'm yours. Take me, use me as you will."
You are so programmed, by the way. That is so programmed.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And that's what people think I'm in the program.
Yeah.
Because I was addicted to lack. I was addicted to not being my true self, Addiction, it doesn't have to be a substance. It can be an attitude, that you're addicted to. And so when I surrendered, when I did that, and I meant it because I was 40, I was just turning 40, and my shit was not together, So I said, okay, time to stop playing games. And I was starting to sing the Son House song, when Son House sings, I want to live so God can use me anyway, Lord, anyhow. I want to live so God can use me anyway, Lord, anyhow. And he goes, I'm going to pray. So I just keep sending over this affirmation. And keep reiterating the different actions you're going to do this. So to me, going to church, I'm getting involved in prayer. And church kind of distracts me sometimes from the truth.
How so?
Well, sometimes I have to sort through what I think is, some of it's just, I don't know, fear-based, I don't know. Some of it's not ringing, not resonating with me. My father taught me, my father was very much of a Bible guy. And he taught me one verse. He drove one verse into me. And he said, this is the only one you need to know. And he was a Bible guy. His Bible up there where he wrote it out for me. This is my son's verse. Seek ye the kingdom and all else will be added.
Wow.
And every time he's with me, say that one. That's what's your verse? Seek ye the kingdom of heaven and all things will be added. And when I did that surrender and I said to the king, whatever it is, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a shack, a kingdom. I don't know if it's whatever it is, shit changed.
Wow.
Quickly.
Wow. Quickly. Wow.
Yeah. So
my face hurts from smiling so much. I just love everything that you're saying, who you are, what you do, the way I feel very blessed. I'm very grateful to you for doing, I didn't say at the start of the show, you had trauma today. You had a pipe burst and you had a mess in your studio and your master bath and you're here. You didn't cancel, you showed up and
the house didn't fall down. It's just a fucking pipe.
Yeah, but that's because you are who you are and you don't catastrophize, you don't dramatize, you're just in the moment, real. It's beautiful.
No, I have time now. I'm not, don't let all this stuff fool you. There's some shit going on. But I deal with it. I'm dealing with it, And I know it's all divine, and I know it's, it's for my growth and for my learning and for the growth of the people that involve themselves with that kind of thing like that. So, my job and the job of all of us, and to me, is everywhere we go to bring a little joy,
You bring to me personally, so much joy every day that I can't even tell you.
It was just saying hi, just a wave, somebody, hey, how you doing? Just, I don't know, just don't be a, what.
Okay, so I have another, since you're the bringer of joy, I'm gonna dare to make one more request, because we are the COVID crazies and because you wrote this song for us in 15 minutes. Would you do the Medicine Man?
All right.
Oh God.
All right. Well, it looks to me like the end is coming. Feet's hurt and my nose is running. Friends and neighbors are dropping like flies. Better cover your face, sanitize. Everybody's doing the best that they can. And we're all just waiting on the medicine man. The medicine man. Well, you better lock your doors, turn on the news. The whole damn world is singing the blues. The president lost, but he don't want to go. Mother Earth, she needs a little help, you know. Yeah. Yeah, everybody's doing the best that they can. And we're all just waiting on the medicine man. Medicine man. Well, we're gonna give everybody a little dose, but we're gonna give it to the people who need it the most. Well, now I can't tell what the future holds. It might turn to crap, it might turn to gold. Maybe the bees might teach the pigs to fly. But I'm just gonna love everybody till the day I die. Know that everybody's doing the best that they can. And we're all just waiting on the medicine man. The medicine man. Yeah.
I didn't notice the lyric until you did it this time, that he lost and he just won't go. Oh my God.
I do that real quick. You have to let that one go by real quick.
I never heard that. I never noticed that in the song before.
You know, I did it like that because, you know, you get in front of an audience and people have different political persuasions, you know.
Well,
so you got to make a light of it and then get off of it. You know,
you're in church right now because the people who are watching this.
No, don't pay attention to that Mother Earth. Oh, that's common. On Earth now.
Oh, oh God. Kevin, I am so, thank you so much for
thank you for having me on your show. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
All your music, everything you shared with us today. You exceeded all expectations. You're just as wonderful as your music. And
I just want to just say something to you and everybody out there, you know, if they're listening, is that, you know, this what did I was that, you know, this matters, you know, all this, you know, I take what I do seriously, and all this stuff matters, and everybody matters, you know, big time. You know, you never know who you're inspiring or who you're, like, you know, helping. You don't have to know, you know, you have to really know, but just that, you know, everybody counts. Every single person, everybody counts, you know. And everybody that comes to my shows is a person. Every seat is full of a person, but you know, that, you know, went out of their way to come and be there for some reason, you know. So I'd like to thank everybody for coming and being here. And I hope they got something from it. Hope it was fun for them and for everybody. And thank you so much for.
Oh, God. Okay. So when are you coming to LA? When do you have any plans to play in LA? Please say yes.
I don't know.
Oh, come on. We might have to come to Nashville.
Oh, I'll be out there. Well,
yeah.
Yeah. LA. Oftentimes the LA plays are, LA is so hip now. Everybody goes to the hip shows. When you go to cities now, the shows are in the burbs. Right. Well, we'll drive to see you. You're worth the drive. We'll put some miles on. Thank you, Vicki. Thank you so much. And you know, thank you. I'm gonna go up and to get something to eat like that. But
and watch the Kennedy Center honors. Thanks for reminding me that they're on. I'm excited to go.
Amy Grant's getting the Kennedy honors. She's my friend, you know.
I know you played with her. Yeah.
She's freaking cool. Yeah. And Gladys Knight.
Is she? Oh.
Is she Gladys Knight?
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. Well, thank you so much. And I can't wait to meet you. And thank you for indulging everything I asked of you and then more. Thank you so much. And
happy to do it. Thank you so much. All right. I'll see you later then.
Take care, Kevin.